Emily Thompson stood at the kitchen window, watching the gray Manchester morning creep across the sky. Her small apartment felt cold, not just from the winter chill, but from the constant worry that pressed against her chest. At 28, she carried the weight of survival on her shoulders. The alarm clock's harsh buzz reminded her that another exhausting day was beginning. Lucy, her 6-year-old daughter, slept peacefully in the next room, her tiny frame curled under a worn but carefully mended blanket. Emily smiled softly, knowing every decision she made was for this precious child. Her morning routine was a carefully choreographed dance of efficiency. Pack Lucy's lunch, 2 sandwiches, one for her and one to share with a friend who sometimes went hungry. Check the bus schedule. Iron her work uniform. Calculate every penny. 2 jobs defined her existence. Morning shifts at the local grocery store, where she scanned items and smiled at customers who rarely noticed her. Evening cleaning shifts at the city hotel, where she moved silently through empty rooms, erasing evidence of other people's lives. Each job paid minimum wage, each hour a battle against mounting bills. Today was different. The electricity bill sat unopened on the kitchen counter, a monster waiting to devour what little savings she had managed to scrape together. Emily knew the numbers would be brutal. Winter was always the hardest season, demanding more money for heat, more layers of clothing, more everything. As Lucy woke up, her bright eyes searching for breakfast, Emily managed a warm smile. "Pancakes today," she whispered, pulling out the last of their flour and mixing it with water. They would be thin, almost transparent pancakes, but Lucy wouldn't know the difference. Children have a magical ability to find joy in the simplest things. The school drop-off was a careful routine. A kiss, a tight hug, a whispered "I love you" that carried all of Emily's hopes and dreams. She watched her daughter walk into the school, backpack slightly too big, shoulders squared with childhood confidence. At the grocery store, Emily's hands moved quickly. Scan. Bag. Smile. Repeat. Her manager, Mr. Peterson, rarely spoke to her except to point out a mistake or remind her of extra shifts. She was invisible, another working-class woman keeping the world moving while remaining unseen. During her lunch break, she pulled out a worn notebook. Job applications. Online courses. Scholarship information. Her fingers traced the lines of potential escape routes from her current life. Education seemed like a distant dream, but Emily refused to surrender her hope. The hotel cleaning job came next. Fresh linens. Polished surfaces. Erased traces of strangers' lives. Each room told a story: business travelers, tourists, families on holiday. Emily wondered about their worlds, so different from her own narrow existence. Late that night, after Lucy was asleep, Emily sat at the kitchen table. The electricity bill stared at her. £67 she didn't have. Heating or food? A choice no mother should make. Her hands trembled slightly as she opened the envelope. Outside, Manchester's evening settled into a quiet darkness. Street lights flickered, casting long shadows across empty roads. Inside this small apartment, Emily Thompson represented thousands of working-class mothers, resilient, determined, fighting invisible battles every single day. She made a decision. She would find a way. For Lucy. For herself. The first step of any journey begins with believing you can take that step. Her fingers traced the job training brochure she had secretly collected. Community Center. Free computer classes. A flicker of possibility danced in her tired eyes. The radiator clicked. The refrigerator hummed. Lucy's soft breathing came from the bedroom. And Emily prepared for another day of survival, of hope, of endless love. In this moment, in this small Manchester apartment, a transformation was quietly beginning. The community center stood like a beacon of possibility on Manchester's bustling street corner. Faded posters and brick walls whispered promises of change to those brave enough to listen. Emily's heart raced as she pushed open the heavy wooden door, clutching her worn notebook and a determination that burned brighter than her fears. Computer classes. 2 words that seemed both simple and terrifying. She was older than most students, her hands rough from cleaning work, her confidence worn thin by years of struggling. Mr. Richard Harris, the instructor, looked nothing like Emily had imagined. Kind eyes, a gentle smile, and hands that seemed more interested in helping than judging. The first class felt like walking into a foreign country. Computers hummed and clicked. Young students tapped away with confident fingers. Emily sat at the back, her posture defensive, her breathing shallow. The keyboard seemed like an alien device, each key a potential trap waiting to expose her inexperience. "Don't worry about making mistakes," Mr. Harris announced to the class. His voice carried a warmth that seemed to reach directly into Emily's nervous heart. Everyone starts somewhere. Each lesson became a small victory. Turning on the computer. Creating an email address. Learning to type without looking at her fingers. Lucy would peek over her shoulder in the evenings, her young eyes wide with excitement. "You're learning, Mom," she would squeal, her joy infectious. The other students began to notice Emily's determination. Where they saw technology as a playground, she saw it as a lifeline. Her fingers might move slower, but her concentration never wavered. Mr. Harris would often pause beside her desk, offering quiet encouragement. Spreadsheets became less intimidating. Email transformed from a mysterious concept to a practical tool. Emily started to see beyond the screen, she saw opportunity. Each click represented a potential pathway out of her current life. During breaks, she would listen to younger students discuss job prospects. Technology seemed to open doors she had never known existed. Administrative roles. Customer service positions. Jobs that didn't require breaking her body with physical labor. At home, Lucy would watch her mother's transformation. Emily practicing typing while preparing dinner. Studying computer screens after bedtime stories. The child understood, in her own way, that something important was happening. The community center became more than a classroom. It became a sanctuary of hope. Other working-class adults like Emily discovered their potential here. Mothers. Factory workers. People who had been told they were too old, too tired, too anything to change their lives. Mr. Harris saw something special in Emily. Her determination. Her ability to transform challenges into opportunities. He began offering extra help, showing her shortcuts, explaining complex concepts with patience. "You're not just learning computers," he would say. "You're learning a new language of opportunity." Emily's world began to expand. Online job applications became possible. Her email inbox started receiving responses. Each small interaction felt like a victory against a system that had always seemed designed to keep her in place. Her hands, once only good for cleaning and carrying, now danced across keyboards. Her mind, once consumed by survival, now dreamed of growth. The community center had become more than a building, it was a bridge between her past and potential future. Lucy watched her mother's transformation with a child's pure wonder. "You're becoming a computer expert," she would declare, her belief absolute and unwavering. Emily would smile, knowing she was becoming something far more important. She was becoming hope. Not just for herself, but for her daughter. For every working-class mother who believed change was possible. The computer screen flickered. Another lesson completed. Another step taken. Emily Thompson was writing her own story, one keystroke at a time. In the soft evening light of her small Manchester apartment, surrounded by the hum of possibility, she allowed herself to dream. And for the first time in years, those dreams felt achievable. The administrative assistant job advertisement seemed to dance on the edge of Emily's vision. Bold letters promising stability, weekly salary, and professional growth. Her fingers trembled as she prepared her application, each word carefully typed from skills learned at the community center. Manchester's job market was competitive. Young graduates with perfect resumes and polished interviews surrounded every opportunity. Emily knew she was different. Older. A single mother. No traditional educational background. But something inside her refused to surrender. The interview day arrived like a storm. Emily wore her best outfit. A navy blue blazer purchased from a second-hand shop, pressed trousers, and shoes she had carefully cleaned the night before. Lucy had helped her prepare, braiding her hair and offering childlike wisdom. "You're amazing, Mom," she had whispered, giving Emily unexpected courage. Mr. James Cooper, the hiring manager, looked professional and slightly intimidating. His office felt sterile, with clean white walls and precise furniture. Emily sat, her hands folded carefully in her lap, fighting the urge to fidget. "Tell me about your experience," he requested, his pen poised over a crisp white paper. Emily took a deep breath. She spoke about her cleaning jobs, her determination, her night classes, her ability to multitask, her experience as a single mother managing complex household challenges. Each word carried the weight of her journey. Her nervousness showed. Sentences sometimes stumbled. Her voice occasionally wavered. But underneath the surface, her passion burned bright. She wasn't just seeking a job. She was seeking transformation. The other candidates seemed younger, more polished. Fresh university graduates with perfect postures and confident smiles. Emily felt like an outsider, a desperate hope dancing in her tired eyes. Days passed like slow-moving clouds, each moment filled with anticipation and silent prayer. Lucy would ask, "Did you get the job, Mom?" Emily would smile, "We're waiting, sweetheart." Her current jobs continued. Grocery store, hotel cleaning. Every shift a reminder of her current reality. But something had changed. Her posture was different. Her eyes carried a new spark of hope. Mr. Harris from the community center offered continuous support. "Your story matters," he would remind her. "Your experience is valuable." Emily remembered every lesson. Computer skills, professional communication, interview techniques. Mr. Harris had been more than an instructor. He had been a beacon of possibility. The telephone call came on a cold Wednesday afternoon. Lucy was doing homework at the kitchen table. Emily's hands shook as she answered. "Miss Thompson?" The voice was professional. Calm. Time seemed to pause. The kitchen walls held their breath. Lucy looked up, her young eyes filled with curious hope. "Congratulations," the voice continued. "We would like to offer you the administrative assistant position." Emily's world transformed in that moment. Not just a job. A pathway. A promise of something different. Something better. Tears mixed with laughter. Lucy jumped around the small kitchen, understanding something significant had happened. "We did it, Mom," she shouted. The salary would change everything. Reduced working hours. More time with Lucy. Potential for further education. A glimpse of a different future. Emily's journey wasn't just about her. It was about every working-class mother who dared to dream. Who refused to be defined by current circumstances. Who understood that persistence could unlock unexpected doors. That evening, as Manchester's streetlights flickered to life, Emily and Lucy celebrated. Not with expensive dinners or grand gestures. But with hope. With possibility. With the understanding that every small step could lead to significant change. The administrative assistant job was more than employment. It was a testament to Emily's resilience. Her courage. Her unwavering love for her daughter. In that moment, anything seemed possible. The first day at her new job felt like stepping into a different world. Emily's desk sat near a large window overlooking Manchester's bustling business district. Her computer, not a cleaning cloth or cash register, represented more than just work equipment. It symbolized transformation. Her colleague, Rebecca Williams, noticed Emily's careful movements. Unlike previous workplaces where she remained invisible, here people saw her. Really saw her. Her dedication. Her quiet determination. The company specialized in local government administration. Spreadsheets, emails, scheduling tasks that once seemed complicated now flowed through Emily's fingers. She remembered Mr. Harris's lessons, each keystroke a celebration of her journey. During lunch breaks, Emily would call Lucy. "How was school?" she would ask, her voice filled with genuine interest. Lucy's stories about friends, homework, and playground adventures became Emily's moments of joy. Her manager, Mr. David Peterson, recognized something special in Emily. Not just her administrative skills, but her unique perspective. She understood challenges from a ground-level view, something many university graduates missed. "You have real-world experience," he told her during a performance review. "That's more valuable than any textbook." Emily's salary meant significant changes. No more juggling multiple jobs. More time with Lucy. A sense of stability she had never known. Their tiny apartment, once a symbol of struggle, now felt like a launching pad for dreams. She enrolled in evening business administration courses. 2 hours twice a week, expanding her knowledge. Lucy would help her study, asking questions, sharing her mother's excitement about learning. The workplace became more than a job. It became a community. Emily made friends. Shared lunch. Participated in office discussions. Her confidence grew with each passing week. Financial stability arrived slowly. First, a proper winter coat for Lucy. Then, savings in a bank account. Small victories that once seemed impossible now felt natural. Rebecca became more than a colleague. A friend who understood Emily's journey. They would discuss work, life, challenges. Emily no longer felt like an outsider. Every challenge became an opportunity. Complex spreadsheets. Difficult scheduling. Communication with multiple departments. Emily approached each task with the same determination she had applied to survival. Lucy watched her mother's transformation with childlike wonder. "You're a business lady now," she would declare, her pride evident. Emily would smile, understanding that her journey represented more than personal success. The community center where Emily learned computer skills became a memory of hope. Mr. Harris's lessons echoed in her professional interactions. She understood that education was never just about skills. It was about believing in oneself. Manchester's winter slowly gave way to spring. Emily's life blossomed alongside the city's changing landscape. Her world expanded beyond survival. Now, she was creating opportunities. Weekend mornings became sacred. Pancake breakfasts with Lucy. Homework help. Planning future goals. Emily realized she was not just providing for her daughter. She was showing her what was possible. Her previous jobs, grocery store cashier, hotel cleaner, were no longer burdens. They were chapters in her story of resilience. Each experience had prepared her for this moment. The administrative assistant role was more than employment. It was a bridge between her past struggles and future potential. Emily understood that every job has value. Every experience teaches something. Lucy's school projects now included sections about her mother's journey. "My mom went back to school," she would tell classmates with infectious enthusiasm. "She shows me that anything is possible." Emily's breakthrough wasn't just about a job. It was about breaking generational cycles of limited opportunities. About showing her daughter that education, determination, and love could transform lives. As Manchester's evening light filtered through her office window, Emily reflected on her journey. From cleaning rooms to managing administrative tasks. From survival to possibility. Her story was still being written. And the next chapter looked brighter than ever. 2 years passed like a transformative dream. Emily Thompson stood at the podium of the community center, no longer a nervous student, but a senior administrative coordinator and mentor. Her journey had become a beacon of hope for other working-class mothers seeking professional growth. Lucy, now 8, watched her mother with eyes full of admiration. The small Manchester apartment was now a comfortable home. Bookshelves lined the walls, filled with study materials, Lucy's school projects, and photographs documenting their remarkable journey. Emily's role had expanded beyond her initial administrative position. The company recognized her unique skills, her ability to understand complex human challenges, her remarkable work ethic, and her genuine compassion. She now helped develop training programs for new employees, sharing her story of transformation. The community center where she first learned computer skills now invited her as a guest speaker. Women from similar backgrounds listened intently as Emily shared her experiences. Education is not about perfection, she would say. It's about persistence. Mr. Harris, her original computer instructor, attended one of her presentations. His eyes glistened with pride. The shy, nervous woman he had once encouraged had become a powerful advocate for adult education and professional development. Lucy's school performances celebrated family achievements differently now. No longer worried about basic necessities, she participated in extracurricular activities. Music lessons, art classes, small luxuries that were once unimaginable. Emily's professional network grew. She connected with local businesses, creating pathways for other single mothers to find employment. Her story inspired workplace diversity programs. Companies began recognizing the untapped potential in employees with non-traditional backgrounds. Weekend mornings remained sacred. Pancake breakfasts, homework help, shared dreams. Emily ensured that despite her professional success, her relationship with Lucy remained the priority. The administrative role had been more than a job. It was a transformation of mindset. Emily understood that opportunities were created, not discovered. Her determination had rewritten her life's narrative. Her colleagues respected her not just for her professional skills, but for her authentic journey. Rebecca Williams, now a close friend, often shared Emily's story as an example of workplace resilience. Financial stability allowed new possibilities. A small savings account for Lucy's future education. Weekend trips. Books. Experiences that expanded their world beyond survival. The Manchester community began recognizing Emily as more than an employee. She became a mentor, a speaker, a symbol of what determination could achieve. Local newspapers featured her story, inspiring other working-class individuals. Lucy's understanding of potential expanded. She saw her mother not as someone struggling, but as a powerful, educated professional who could create change. "My mom teaches people how to believe in themselves," she would tell her friends. Emily's transformation extended beyond personal achievement. She developed workshops at the community center, teaching computer skills to adults facing similar challenges. Her experiences became a roadmap for others. Her relationship with Lucy evolved. No longer just a provider, Emily became a role model. Conversations included discussions about education, personal growth, and believing in oneself. The administrative coordinator position was just a beginning. Emily enrolled in advanced business management courses, her appetite for learning insatiable. Each class represented another step in her continuous journey of growth. Manchester's landscape of opportunity slowly changed. Emily's story became part of a larger narrative about adult education, workplace diversity, and breaking traditional employment barriers. As graduation day approached for Lucy's school year, Emily reflected on their journey. From a tiny apartment of struggle to a home of opportunity. From survival to celebration. Her message remained consistent: we write our own stories. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow. The evening light filtered through their living room window. Lucy practiced her violin. Emily prepared her presentation for tomorrow's workshop. 2 generations. One powerful story of transformation. In that moment, hope wasn't just a concept. It was their lived reality.